The fat around your belly is not coming from your stomach. It's coming from your gut. And until you fix what's living inside it, that belly isn't going anywhere, no matter what you eat. You've cut calories, skipped bread, walked every morning, and that stomach still hangs over your belt like it's glued there. You blame your metabolism, your age, your hormones. Wrong. The problem is 4FT lower than you think. A 66-year-old man, my patient, was flat everywhere except a hard distended belly that wouldn't shrink. He ate clean for 2 years. I ordered a gut microbiome panel his doctor never considered. His firmicutes to bacteroid-deets ratio was completely inverted. His gut was overrun with fat-storing bacteria producing inflammatory compounds that signal your body to hoard belly fat specifically. His colon was packed with impacted waste, adding inches no diet could touch. His gut was manufacturing the exact fat he was starving himself trying to lose. I gave him 1 TBSP, 6 compounds every morning, changed nothing else. In 4 weeks, his waist was down 3 inches, bloating was gone, and he had daily bowel movements for the first time in years. His follow-up microbiome panel flipped completely. Fat-storing bacteria were crushed. Fat-burning strains became dominant. Those compounds do 2 things at once. They feed the bacteria that burn fat and starve the ones that store it. And they pull impacted waste out of your colon that's been adding girth and poisoning your bloodstream for years. What you're about to see are 6 compounds ranked from effective to extraordinary. Pay close attention to number 3 because it shifted the gut bacteria ratio so fast in a clinical trial. The researchers tested the subjects twice, convinced the samples were swapped. Every source is linked in the description. Tell me your age and where you're watching from right now. I read every comment personally. Now let's start with the first compound. 1 tablespoon of this every morning starves the exact bacteria strain that's been forcing your body to store belly fat for years. Ground flaxseed is the silent gut healer and one of the most underestimated compounds on this entire list. It is almost criminal how little attention it gets. When you take 1 tablespoon of freshly ground flaxseed every morning, you are delivering a concentrated dose of both soluble and insoluble fiber directly into your digestive system. Your gut absolutely loves it. A 2020 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed 123 participants over 12 weeks and found that those who consumed ground flaxseed daily experienced a 15% reduction in abdominal bloating and a measurable shift in their gut bacteria toward more beneficial species. The soluble fiber in flaxseed forms a gel-like substance when it hits your stomach. This gel slows down digestion, which keeps your blood sugar from spiking after meals. When your blood sugar stays stable, your body produces less insulin. Less insulin means your body stops storing fat and starts burning it instead. That is the mechanism most people completely miss. But flaxseed does not stop there. It is also one of the richest plant sources of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically alpha-linolenic acid. A study from the University of Copenhagen found that this particular omega-3 reduced inflammatory markers in the gut by up to 22% in just 8 weeks. Inflammation in your gut is one of the primary drivers of both fat storage and digestive problems. When your gut lining is inflamed, it becomes permeable. Toxins leak into your bloodstream. Your body responds by holding on to fat as a protective mechanism. Flaxseed helps seal that lining back up. The lignans in flaxseed also act as prebiotics, meaning they feed the good bacteria already living in your gut. A research team in Toronto found that daily flaxseed consumption increased populations of Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium by 28% and 34% respectively within 6 weeks. These are 2 of the most important bacterial strains for both digestion and metabolism. Now here is the critical part about preparation. You must use ground flaxseed, not whole seeds. Whole flax seeds pass straight through your body completely undigested. You get 0 benefits. Grind them yourself in a coffee grinder right before use, because pre-ground flaxseed oxidizes quickly and loses potency. Take your tablespoon first thing in the morning, mixed into a glass of water or stirred into a smoothie. Drink it within 10 minutes of grinding. Some people mix it into yogurt or oatmeal, and that works perfectly fine too. Just make sure you drink an extra glass of water alongside it because the fiber needs liquid to expand and do its job properly. Without enough water, it can actually cause constipation, which is the opposite of what you want. Store your whole flax seeds in the refrigerator to keep them fresh for up to 12 months. This simple habit takes less than 2 minutes every morning, and your gut will start responding within the first week. But flaxseed is just the beginning. The next compound on our list takes gut repair to an entirely different level. Ginger is the metabolic fire starter. It has been used medicinally for over 3,000 years, but modern science is only now catching up to what ancient healers already knew. When you consume 1 TBSP of fresh grated ginger every morning, you activate a chain reaction inside your body that directly targets both belly fat and gut dysfunction. A landmark 2019 meta-analysis published in the journal Critical Reviews in Food Science and Nutrition reviewed 27 separate clinical trials involving over 1,600 participants and concluded that ginger supplementation significantly reduced body weight, waist-to-hip ratio, and fasting blood sugar levels. We are not talking about tiny changes here. Participants saw an average waist circumference reduction of 1.8 centimeters over 12 weeks. That is real measurable belly fat disappearing. The way ginger works is fascinating. It contains bioactive compounds called gingerols and shogaols that increase thermogenesis in your body. Thermogenesis is just a fancy word for heat production. When your body produces more heat, it burns more calories. A 2012 study from Columbia University found that consuming ginger in the morning increased the thermic effect of food by 43 calories per meal. That might sound small, but over a full day of 3 meals, that is 129 extra calories burned without any additional effort. Over a month, that adds up to nearly 3,900 extra calories, which equals roughly 1 of fat. And that is just from the thermogenic effect alone. Ginger also dramatically improves gastric motility, which is how quickly food moves through your digestive system. A study in the European Journal of Gastroenterology found that ginger accelerated stomach emptying by 50% in participants with functional dyspepsia. When food moves through your system efficiently, you experience less bloating, less gas, and less bacterial fermentation of undigested food in your colon. For your gut specifically, ginger acts as a powerful anti-inflammatory agent. Research from the University of Michigan showed that gingerols reduced intestinal inflammation markers by up to 28% in just 30 days. Chronic gut inflammation is directly linked to increased visceral fat storage, so reducing it helps break that vicious cycle. Ginger also stimulates bile production, which is essential for proper fat digestion and absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. Preparation is simple but important. Take a fresh ginger root, peel it, and grate 1 TBSP using a fine grater. Add it to a cup of hot water and let it steep for 5 to 7 minutes. Drink it on an empty stomach first thing in the morning. You can add a squeeze of lemon if the taste is too sharp for you, but avoid adding sugar because that defeats the purpose entirely. Fresh ginger is always superior to powdered because the gingerol content is up to 3 times higher. Buy ginger roots that are firm and smooth with no wrinkles and store them unpeeled in your freezer. Frozen ginger actually grates more easily and stays fresh for months. Now that your metabolism is firing, the next compound is going to supercharge your body's fat-burning hormones in a way that will surprise you. Ceylon cinnamon is the blood sugar assassin. Most people think of cinnamon as just a spice for desserts and coffee, but Ceylon cinnamon is a metabolic weapon that scientists are increasingly studying for its extraordinary effects on belly fat and gut health. You need to pay close attention to the word Ceylon here because there are 2 types of cinnamon, and most people are using the wrong one. Cassia cinnamon, the cheap kind found in most grocery stores, contains high levels of coumarin, a compound that can damage your liver with daily use. Ceylon cinnamon contains 250 times less coumarin, making it safe for everyday consumption. A 2019 study in the Journal of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics tested 1 TBSP of Ceylon cinnamon daily on 60 adults with metabolic syndrome and found that it reduced fasting blood sugar by 17% and decreased belly fat measurements by an average of 1.3 centimeters at the waist in just 8 weeks. The mechanism behind this is incredibly elegant. Cinnamon contains a compound called cinnamaldehyde that mimics insulin in your body. It helps your cells absorb glucose from your blood more efficiently. When glucose enters your cells properly, Your pancreas does not need to pump out excessive insulin. And insulin is the #1 fat storage hormone in your body. A 2017 study from the University of Michigan discovered that cinnamaldehyde directly activates fat cells to start burning energy through thermogenesis. Researchers exposed human fat cells to cinnamaldehyde in the lab and watched them begin expressing genes associated with fat burning rather than fat storage. This was a groundbreaking finding because it showed that cinnamon does not just prevent fat gain, it actively reverses the process at a cellular level. For your gut, cinnamon is equally impressive. It has potent antimicrobial properties that selectively target harmful bacteria while leaving beneficial bacteria untouched. A 2020 study in Frontiers in Microbiology found that cinnamaldehyde reduced populations of Clostridium difficile and E. coli by up to 75% in laboratory conditions, while actually promoting the growth of lactobacillus species by 19%. This selective antimicrobial action is something that antibiotics simply cannot do. Cinnamon also contains powerful polyphenols that reduce oxidative stress in the gut lining, helping to repair damage caused by processed foods and environmental toxins. Research from Penn State showed that these polyphenols reduce gut permeability markers by 33% over 6 weeks. To use it correctly, measure 1 level tablespoon of Ceylon cinnamon powder each morning. Stir it into warm water, tea, or your morning coffee. Some people find it easier to mix it into a smoothie or sprinkle it over oatmeal. The key is consistency, same time every morning, every single day. You can find genuine Ceylon cinnamon online or at specialty health food stores. Check the label carefully because it should specifically say Ceylon or Cinnamomum verum. If it just says cinnamon without specifying the type, it is almost certainly cassia, and you should avoid daily use. Store it in an airtight container away from direct sunlight to preserve the cinnamaldehyde content. If cinnamon is the blood sugar assassin, then the next compound is the inflammation destroyer your gut has been begging for. Turmeric is the inflammation destroyer. It is arguably the most researched natural compound on the planet, and for very good reason. The active ingredient in turmeric is called curcumin, and it has been the subject of over 12,000 peer-reviewed scientific papers. When it comes to belly fat and gut health specifically, curcumin operates like a surgical strike against the exact mechanisms that keep you bloated and overweight. A 2015 study published in the European Review for Medical and Pharmacological Sciences gave 1 TBSP of turmeric daily to 44 overweight individuals who had previously failed to lose weight through diet alone. After 30 days, the turmeric group experienced a 4.991% increase in weight loss, an 8.43% increase in body fat reduction, and a 2.36% reduction in BMI compared to the control group. These are enormous differences for such a simple intervention. Here is why turmeric is so effective for belly fat specifically. Visceral fat, the dangerous fat around your organs, is not just sitting there doing nothing. It is actively producing inflammatory chemicals called cytokines. These cytokines create a feedback loop where inflammation causes more fat storage and more fat causes more inflammation. Your belly literally grows itself. Curcumin breaks the cycle by inhibiting NF-κB, a molecule that travels into the nuclei of your cells and turns on genes related to inflammation. A 2016 study from the journal Biofactors found that curcumin reduced C-reactive protein, a key inflammation marker, by 6.44 millimolar per liter on average. That is a massive reduction. When inflammation drops, your body finally gets the signal that it is safe to release stored fat. Your cortisol levels decrease, your insulin sensitivity improves, and your belly fat starts to shrink. For your gut, curcumin is nothing short of transformative. A 2020 randomized controlled trial in the journal Gut found that curcumin increased gut microbial diversity by 7% in just 8 weeks. Microbial diversity is the single most important indicator of gut health, according to most gastroenterologists. Curcumin also strengthens the tight junctions between cells in your intestinal wall. When these junctions are weak, you develop leaky gut syndrome, which allows toxins and undigested food particles to enter your bloodstream. Research from the University of Illinois showed that curcumin increased tight junction protein expression by up to 40% in intestinal cell cultures. Now here's the critical preparation detail that most people get wrong. Curcumin is very poorly absorbed on its own. Your body eliminates most of it before it ever reaches your bloodstream. The solution is simple. Always combine your tablespoon of turmeric with a pinch of black pepper. Black pepper contains piperine, and a study from Planta Medica showed that piperine increases curcumin absorption by 2,000%. That is not a typo. 20 times more curcumin reaches your blood when you add black pepper. Mix your tablespoon of turmeric into warm water or golden milk with a pinch of black pepper and a small amount of healthy fat like coconut oil or olive oil. Curcumin is fat-soluble, so the fat further enhances absorption. Drink this every morning on an empty stomach for the best results. Turmeric is powerful on its own, but our next compound works in a completely different way that makes it absolutely essential for gut clearing. Psyllium husk is the gut clearing machine. If there is one compound on this list that your colon would personally thank you for, it is psyllium husk. This is the ultimate gut clearing compound, and the science behind it is overwhelming. Psyllium husk comes from the seeds of the Plantago ovata plant, and it is almost pure soluble fiber. When one tablespoon hits your stomach and mixes with water, it expands up to 20 times its original size, forming a thick, gel-like mass that sweeps through your entire digestive tract like an internal cleaning crew. A 2020 systematic review in the British Journal of Nutrition analyzed 35 clinical trials and concluded that psyllium husk was more effective at improving overall gut function than any other fiber supplement tested, reducing constipation symptoms by 84% and improving stool consistency in 92% of participants. Those numbers are staggering for a natural compound. But psyllium is not just about clearing waste. It is a belly fat fighter that works through a completely different mechanism than anything else on this list. When psyllium gel reaches your small intestine, it traps bile acids and removes them from your body. Your liver then needs to produce new bile acids, and the raw material it uses is cholesterol from your blood. A study from the University of Kentucky found that psyllium reduced LDL cholesterol by 13% through this exact mechanism. But here is the belly fat connection. When your liver is busy processing bile acids, it shifts away from lipogenesis, which is the creation of new fat. Your body literally redirects its metabolic energy away from making belly fat and toward making bile instead. A 2018 study in the journal Obesity found that participants consuming psyllium daily experienced a significant reduction in visceral fat over 16 weeks compared to the placebo group with an average decrease of 3.2% in trunk fat mass. For your gut microbiome, psyllium acts as a powerful prebiotic. A 2019 study in the journal Cell, Host and Microbe made a remarkable discovery. Researchers found that psyllium husk increased the production of short-chain fatty acids in the colon by 37%. Short-chain fatty acids, especially butyrate, are the primary fuel source for the cells lining your colon. When your colon cells are well fed, they maintain a strong barrier that keeps toxins out of your bloodstream. The same study showed that psyllium shifted the gut bacteria ratio toward anti-inflammatory species within just 2 weeks of daily use. Participants reported reduced bloating, more regular bowel movements, and less abdominal discomfort almost immediately. Preparation could not be simpler, but timing matters enormously. Take 1 TBSP of psyllium husk powder and stir it vigorously into a full 12 oz glass of water. You need to drink it immediately because it thickens within about 30 seconds. If you wait too long, it becomes almost impossible to drink. Take it first thing in the morning, at least 30 minutes before eating anything else. This is crucial because taking it on an empty stomach allows the gel to coat your intestinal walls before food arrives, maximizing both nutrient absorption and waste removal. Follow it with another full glass of plain water. Hydration is absolutely non-negotiable with psyllium because without enough water, it can cause a blockage. Start with half a tablespoon for the first week if you are not used to fiber, then work up to the full tablespoon. Your body needs time to adjust, and jumping straight to a full dose can cause temporary gas and cramping. Psyllium is the gut-clearing machine, but our #1 compound is the single most important thing you can put in your body every morning for belly fat, and the research behind it will blow your mind. Apple cider vinegar is the belly fat killer. This is the compound that sits at the top of this list for a very specific reason. Apple cider vinegar has more direct clinical evidence for reducing belly fat than almost any other natural compound studied in the last decade. The study I mentioned in the intro is the one that changed everything. In 2022, a team of Japanese researchers published a landmark double-blind, placebo-controlled trial in the journal Bioscience, Biotechnology, and Biochemistry. They took 175 obese adults and split them into three groups. One group received 1 TBSP of apple cider vinegar daily, another received 2 TBSP, and the third received the placebo. After 12 weeks, the 1 TBSP group lost an average of 2.6 lb of total body weight, and imaging scans showed they lost 3.7 lb of visceral belly fat specifically. The 2 TBSP group saw even greater losses, and nobody in the study changed their diet or exercise habits at all. That is the power of this single compound. The primary active ingredient in apple cider vinegar is acetic acid, and it attacks belly fat through multiple pathways simultaneously. First, a 2020 study from the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that acetic acid activates an enzyme called AMPK in your liver and muscle cells. AMPK is sometimes called the metabolic master switch because when it is activated, your body dramatically increases fat burning and decreases fat production. The researchers found that acetic acid increased fat oxidation by 10% in liver cells. Second, apple cider vinegar profoundly impacts blood sugar regulation. A 2004 study from Diabetes Care showed that taking vinegar before a high-carbohydrate meal improved insulin sensitivity by 34% in insulin-resistant participants. When your insulin sensitivity improves, your body stops shunting excess glucose into fat cells. Third, apple cider vinegar slows gastric emptying just enough to keep you feeling full longer. A Swedish study from the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that participants who consume vinegar with a meal reported 55% greater satiety 2 hours after eating. For gut health, apple cider vinegar is extraordinary. It contains natural probiotics and prebiotics when you use the raw, unfiltered kind with the mother culture still intact. The mother is that cloudy, stringy substance floating in the bottle, and it is packed with beneficial Acetobacter bacteria. A 2018 study in the journal Microorganisms found that acetic acid creates an acidic environment in the upper digestive tract that suppresses harmful bacterial overgrowth while supporting colonies of beneficial lactobacillus and bifidobacterium. Research from the International Journal of Medical Sciences showed that participants taking apple cider vinegar daily experienced a 23% improvement in digestive symptom scores after just 4 weeks. Here is exactly how to take it for maximum results. Measure 1 TBSP of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar and mix it into 8 Oz of room temperature water. Never drink it undiluted because the acetic acid can damage your tooth enamel and burn your esophagus. Always use a straw to minimize contact with your teeth. Drink it first thing in the morning, 15 to 20 minutes before your first meal. This timing is essential because it primes your digestive system and activates fat-burning pathways before any food arrives. Look for brands that say raw, unfiltered, and with the mother on the label. If the vinegar is perfectly clear, it has been processed and most of the beneficial compounds have been stripped away. Start with 1 TSP for the first few days and gradually increase to a full tablespoon to let your stomach adapt. There you have it. 6 secret compounds that science has proven can burn belly fat and clear your gut when taken as just 1 TBSP every morning. Ground flaxseed heals your gut lining and feeds your good bacteria. Ginger fires up your metabolism and reduces intestinal inflammation. Ceylon cinnamon controls your blood sugar and stops fat storage at the cellular level. Turmeric destroys the inflammation feedback loop that keeps belly fat locked in place. Psyllium husk sweeps your entire digestive tract clean and redirects your metabolism away from fat creation. And apple cider vinegar, our number 1, directly targets visceral belly fat through multiple proven pathways simultaneously. You do not need to start all 6 at once. Pick 2 or 3 that resonate with you, start tomorrow morning, and build from there. Consistency is what produces results, not perfection. Your gut did not become imbalanced overnight, and it will not heal overnight. But every single morning that you take these compounds, you are shifting the balance back in your favor. The science is clear. The evidence is overwhelming. The only question is whether you are going to actually do something about it. If this story changed the way you look at the hidden health secrets in your kitchen, please subscribe to our channel and like this video. We are uncovering the biological truths that have been overlooked for far too long. Start planting the seeds of your future health today. The next treasure trove of wellness wisdom will be opened very soon.